Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised to relaunch the national pledge. The president believes that the national pledge should be made once again a very important opening of government functions in public events. That we don't just sing the national anthem and start a program. That he wants the national pledge also to be recited. We want people to develop love for their country. The president wants people, Nigerians, to be patriotic, to show love for their country. And he believed that the national pledge, adding it in our public functions, in the opening of our public functions, will help to draw attention to the importance of national unity and patriotism. But the president seemed to have forgotten that that is not the major problem facing Nigeria today. The major problem facing Nigeria today is the failure of the Nigerian state to the Nigerian people. Until the federal government of Nigeria and the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu rectify that problem of the failure of the state, the failure of the responsibility of the state to the Nigerian, until it is addressed and federal government apologize for its failures, recital of the national pledge is of no significance and makes no sense. There is a documentary I would recommend that every Nigerian should see. That documentary is titled David Hundiyin, Unmasking the Faces Behind Insecurity in Nigeria, Reports on Plateau State Killings. It's on YouTube. Look out for it. And one of the persons that featured in that documentary was a reverend gentleman of the Christ Apostolic Church, who narrated how he lost his wife and 5 daughters in Bokos, Plateau State, on Christmas Eve. They were burnt down. They were burnt down with the house. The house was burnt down with these 5 daughters and the wife of this man inside. They died. Nigeria failed them. Nigeria failed this reverend. Now, what does the national pledge mean to this reverend gentleman who lost his 5 daughters and his wife on Christmas Eve? What amount of recitation of the pledge will bring those people back? What amount of recitation will bring the hundreds of people that were slaughtered in that Christmas Eve massacre in Plateau State? Their family members who are mourning their death, untimely death, because the Nigerian state failed them woefully. So if they attend a public function where the president is there and they recite the national pledge, of what relevance is national pledge to those families? Of what importance is the national pledge when the state has failed them? The Nigerian state has failed many Nigerians. So if you need patriotism from them, it is not by issuing orders that people should recite the national pledge. It is by addressing the needs of these people, by stopping the killings. In that documentary, you will learn about how over 30 communities were burnt down. How would the pledge help them when the state has failed them? So what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should first have done was to apologize to Nigerians that the Nigerian state has failed and failed woefully. That is the most important thing, responsibility for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do, and not to talk about recitation of pledge in public functions. As I speak, there are thousands of communities in Plateau, Kaduna, Zamfara, Niger, Nasarawa, endless communities, numbers of communities who have been driven away from their communities. The Nigerian state has failed them woefully. The Nigerian state has failed them woefully. The Nigerian state is not even making any effort to return them back to their ancestral homes. In many of these communities, their ancestral homes have been taken over by intruders and invaders, and the Nigerian state are pretending as if it was not aware. And you expect patriotism to emanate in that kind of situation. The Nigerian state must first return the people of Benue who have been driven from their communities in Agatu and every other part of Benue State, where people have been driven from their homes and the invaders occupy their land, their ancestral land, and the federal government of Nigeria doing nothing to return them back to their homes. So it is the federal government of Nigeria that needs to read that pledge, and not the people of Nigeria, that they have failed. It is good that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said they should print out the pledge for him. He should be reading it every day so that he will realize how his government has failed the people of Nigeria. It is not for the people of Nigeria to go about reciting it right now in public functions. People have talked about John F. Kennedy, the famous speech by John F. Kennedy, where he said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask for what you can do for your country." But that is not applicable to Nigeria, because when John F. Kennedy made this assertion in the United States, American people were not being driven away from their homes by bandits. American people were not being driven from their communities by terrorists. American people are not being kicked around by terrorists that some believe are from outside Nigeria, from outside country. You can imagine that if John F. Kennedy was saying these things when there are terrorists coming from Mexico, from Cuba, invading American communities, chasing them away from their farmlands, stopping them from doing their businesses, burning down their homes, that it would make any sense to an American than John F. Kennedy said, "Think not what your country can do for you. Think of what you can do for your country." That is not applicable to Nigeria, because the Nigerian state has failed the Nigerian people. The Nigerian state is yet to account for the thousands of lives that have been wasted by non-state actors, while the state actors that ought to intervene look the other way or pretend as if it was not a serious matter. In the last administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Muhammad Buhari, over 63,111 people were killed in 8 years of Buhari's administration. So these 63,000 people that were killed under Buhari, you expect their family members to be patriotic when the state has failed them by reciting the pledge? No. The APC administration should first of all apologize to the families they have failed and pay restitution, and then do the needful to heal the land. Because right now, the blood of the innocent that have been shed under this APC administration, they are begging for vengeance. They are not begging for pledges. They are not begging for pledges. They are begging for vengeance. Those who perpetrate it need to be dealt with according to the law. Under Buhari, in his first tenure, 27,311 people were killed. In his second tenure, 35,800 people were killed. Now, these figures are not they are not from me. They are figures from the Nigeria Security Tracker, NST, a project of the Council on Foreign Relations African Program. And according to the report of this council, the deaths arose from terrorism, banditry, headers from mass clashes, communal classes, court classes, and extrajudicial killings. The Nigerian state needs to apologize for all these killings, and they need to pay restitution to the families of those. And not only that, they need to ensure that all the terrorists who have taken over people's communities in Plateau, in Benue, in Nasarawa, in Niger, and in Southern Kaduna, and any other place, including Zamfara, where these terrorists have driven away communities, driven away farmers from their communities, and taken over, and are now rearing their cattle there. In some cases, like in Plateau, communities renamed. These informations are there in the public, that communities were taken over by these rampaging terrorists, bandits, or whatever you call them. They take over the communities, drive away Plateau communities, and take over and rename them. They are all in public domain. The Nigerian state cannot claim they are not aware of this. The Nigerian state that Tinubu is the head cannot claim is not aware that people were driven away from their ancestral homes and they have never returned, and they are not allowed to return. So Nigerian state must return those people back to their communities. Nigerian state must send these people back wherever they came from. Those people, the invaders that invaded these communities and took over their ancestral home, must be returned to wherever they come from. Wherever they come from, whichever country, wherever, even if they are internal colonizers, they must be returned to their place, either by fire or by force. By fire, by force, whatever means. The ancestral homes of communities in Benue, Plateau, Southern Kaduna, Zamfara, everywhere where people are driven away from their homes and the Nigerian state failed them. Nigerian state did not protect them. Nigerian state allowed non-state actors to drive them away. And Nigerian state is pretending as if it doesn't know that these things exist. Nigerian state is a failed state. It must first of all resuscitate itself as a state and take the responsibility of a state before you begin to expect patriotism through the pledge. So what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should do fast before he starts all this relaunching of the pledge, which will be another way that they will form committees and spend billions of naira under the guise of relaunching of the pledge, is to apologize for the failure of the Nigerian states. Failure of the Nigerian state for the 63,111 people that were killed under the APC administration of former President Buhari. And then for the thousands that have been killed under Buhari, under Tinubu in the last 8 months. The Christmas massacre in Plateau. And all the killings, the one taking place, the ongoing one in Agatu in Benue State. All the killings going on everywhere. Nigerian state must apologize for its failure to protect the people. Because it is that failure that is at the roots of nonchalant attitude of Nigerians to things like the pledge. So if really that Nigerian state is serious about people taking serious the pledge, it must first apologize for its failures, and not only do apologizing, pay restitution to the families of those that died and the state failed to protect them, and then return the IDPs to their ancestral homes, build new homes for them in their ancestral homes and not anywhere else, and drove away the bandits, the terrorists, the militias, or wherever they are, that took over communities and have now renamed them, chased them away. Whatever that has to be done to them to ensure that they are driven away, and the original people that owns the place return to their ancestral homes and begin to rebuild their life with the support of the federal government. Until that is done, the idea of relaunching the pledge is an insult on the thousands of lives that Nigerian states failed to protect in the last 8.5 years of the APC administration. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.